Celebrating the Islamic festival of Eid al-Kabir in Kano, northern Nigeria. The streets are ablaze with colour, as thousands of highly decorated horsemen ride through Kano to mark the 10th day of the 12th month of the Islamic calendar. It's known as the month of the Dhul Hijjah, when Muslims traditionally make a pilgrimage to Mecca. The annual festival dates back to the early 19th century and is one of the highlights of the year. Such is the popularity of the event that spectators need to arrive early to get a good view. Every available space is taken. It's the first of a 4-day-long extravaganza. Horsemen make their way to the ground outside the Emir's palace. It's early morning, and already the temperature's 30 degrees. Most of the horsemen learn their skills from their forefathers, but the Durbar is open to anyone. The guest of honor is the Emir of Kano, the regional Islamic spiritual leader. It's traditional for village and district chiefs to charge towards the Emir as a sign of respect. They travel so fast that standing anywhere near the horses can be treacherous, and spectators are advised to keep well back or risk being run down. The colour isn't just confined to the horsemen. Young men in bright costumes turn out to pay their respects to the Emir, as well as performers and musicians. The main Durbar, Hawan Dausha, takes place on the second day. It's the highlight of the festival, with more than 5,000 horsemen taking part. It was first staged in honour of the Emir's favourite aides, who due to ill health couldn't participate the previous day. In the past, the Durbar attracted tourists from all over the world. But Nigeria's long history of military dictators, particularly that of former leader Sani Abacha, has seen a dramatic decline in numbers. Foreign visitors these days are confined mostly to expatriates living in the area. But with the death of Abacha last year, a handover to a democratic civilian government on May the 29th, there are hopes that the tourist trade can be rebuilt. Kano, once Nigeria's top tourist destination, is hoping to cash in on this, with the Durbar set to be the linchpin of any marketing campaign. Tourists who've had the chance to watch the Durbar have given it their seal of approval.
It's magnificent, the colourful, the colours from gold to silver to orange, and the children participating, as well as the older men and Amirs and everything. It's wonderful.
One of the chief attractions of Kano is the Emir's palace, and it is possible for visitors to get an individual audience with the Emir. Anyone wanting one simply needs to write to the palace ahead of their visit, and their request is likely to be granted. The Emir is very much a man of the people, holding daily audiences with locals and tourists alike. Ordinary people come to pay homage, to voice a grievance or ask advice. His colourful entourage includes senior councillors, special advisors and village heads. Kano's director of tourism believes Nigeria has as much to offer as Kenya and Tanzania.
Tourism in this country is not given the desired recognition. Not only tourism, you find that the image of Nigeria is held overseas. It's less to write home about. People are skeptical. They don't want to come to a country which is, ruled by the military personnel because of the dictatorial nature of military in power. But with the transition program, we think and we believe there's going to be a change. People are already accepting the new political arrangement.
Kano Tourist Board has now recruited a marketing manager to help promote the region.
What I try to do is get more tourism going here in Kano. I try to create a liaison with the Western tour operators and to organize package tours for the Western market in order to get them to see the beautiful country of Nigeria.
Kano was once an important city on the trans-Saharan camel route and a centre of trade and learning. It's steeped in history and culture, much of the old town dating back 800 years. Although there are modern developments, many people still live in traditional mud houses. But despite the attractions, Nigeria's been labelled the most corrupt and crime-ridden country in Africa, a claim most Nigerians refute.
Nigerians have bad reputation outside because we've had this military rule for such a long time, and that was more or less like a prelude to people grouping us as being corrupt and whatever names that we've had. But now that we are moving into a more democratic government, I can attest to that in a very short while people are going to have different opinions about us.
One of the highlights of the old city is Kearney market. It's said to be the oldest souk in Africa. Its narrow, winding streets filled with the aroma of herbs and spices.
You love it or you don't. It's like that. It's pure Africa. And for me, I love it. So let them come and see it for themselves.
Since the oil boom of the mid-1970s, Nigeria has relied heavily on oil at the expense of other sources of revenue. Traditional industries and agriculture were largely abandoned. When oil prices plummeted, the Nigerian economy, with little else to rely upon, floundered. But Kano, which was not as reliant on oil as the south, still has flourishing local industries, such as pottery and cloth making. Many date back to the time when the region was one of the most active commercial centres in Africa. These dye pits are believed to be the oldest on the continent, dating back to the 15th century. Natural dyes made from ash, indigo, plants and limestone are still used today, together with traditional methods.
It's still sunny?
Little has changed over the generations for these employees, who use age-old designs for the fabrics, which are exported throughout the region. Nigeria's culture isn't confined to history, architecture and crafts. It's famous for its music and dance. This West African country has much to offer, but if it is to get tourists beating a path to its door, it will have to go all out to improve its appalling image abroad. Not only are hundreds of thousands of dollars needed to promote the country to foreign markets, a huge amount of money is needed to modernise it. Years of endemic corruption and underspending have devastated Nigeria. Kano State Tourism Board is taking the initiative, but without any financial backing from central government, it can't achieve much alone. Yet, those who are prepared to come to Nigeria will be in for a warm welcome.